Welcome to Godless Cranium. Today I want to talk about a sort of feel-good story. I say sort of because there's one element of this story that isn't so feel-good. But let's jump right into it here so you can hear for yourself what I'm rambling on about.
It started just after Will Gibb and his brother stopped to meet a friend at Tim Hortons.
For those of you listening who aren't Canadian, Tim Hortons is a coffee shop.
Now he has two very large dogs, Mongo and Sasha. Shortly after he let them out of his truck, he hears Sasha yelping in pain.
When I first saw this story, this part made me question, where was the owner when he heard his dog yelping in pain? Well, it turns out that he wasn't being the most responsible dog owner at the time of the incident. According to Global News, I let my dog out quickly to go to the bathroom, and within less than 30 seconds, she starts crying out, Gibb told Global News. So I went and saw something wrapped around her. I didn't even know what it was. As far as I know, owners are supposed to have their animals leashed at all times, unless they're in a dog park or some other leash-free zone. Letting the dogs roam around the parking lot to go pee isn't all that bright in my opinion. But let's carry on with the story.
Now keep in mind, it's 6:30 at night. It's dark, so he runs to the darkness, and I let Will pick up the story from here.
I just come across something wrapped around Sasha, and I didn't really know what it was.
I know what it was.
No, not again!
I thought maybe it might have been a coyote. I didn't really know at that point in time, so I ran up, punched for what looked like the head, and connected, and as soon as I did, the thing let go of her and backed away, and finally staring at it, and it's Cougar.
Now imagine punching something in the head and having something like this look back at you. If that's not an oh shit moment, I don't know what is. But this guy is a complete badass.
Will gets between his dog and the Cougar. Now the dog is panicked, thinks Will is the Cougar, and bites down on his hand.
So I'm holding her, trying to calm her, and with her bite my left hand, and I'm swinging at the Cougar with my right, and it's pawing at me, and, not anywhere close enough to do any damage to each other, but just, keeping distance from each other apparently is what we're both going for.
So this guy's getting one hand chomped on by his panicked dog while fighting off a cougar one-handed. Like Jesus Christ, right?
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Will, the brother and the friend, managed to get the first dog out of the fight, but then the second dog shows up.
And the Cougar started making motions towards him, so I got between him and the Cougar and started throwing more punches in its direction, kicking, screaming, doing the normal rigmarole.
Normal rigmarole? There's nothing normal about this scenario. Fighting off cougars with your bare hands while getting nommed on by your dog isn't a normal anything.
In the end, they got the dogs to the vet, called the RCMP. They shot and killed the Cougar. Sasha was stitched up and released. Will and his dogs are now back in Red Deer, taking a few days off. No one was seriously injured.
No one was seriously injured except the cougar. Honestly, I wish they'd relocate the cougar or something. It seems crazy to kill anything that attacks another animal or human. I know it's necessary in some circumstances, and if this guy had been packing a firearm, I think he'd be totally within his rights to shoot the cougar in self-defense. But it's the cougar's nature to kill the dog. It was likely hungry, saw an animal alone, and decided to try to get its next meal. Anyhow, maybe I'm just too soft-hearted. This guy's definitely hardcore, although if I saw my dog being harmed, I'd likely do the same thing. As would most dog owners, I suspect. Still, a pretty amazing story, and I'm glad he and his dogs will recover. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Take care and cheers.